running my own business at the age of 28 and not having to answer to anyone else about how I spent my time or what drink specials I wanted to put on the board or how I wanted to talk to my customers. I didn't think I could ever go back to working for someone else again. Whatever, the man grumbled. He shook his head. If this is how you treat your customers, you won't be in business much longer. He pointed at the menu board. If your gruesome drawings don't put you out first. I turned to look at my menu board, where I'd written all of our seasonal specials in chalk. Next to the gingerbread coffee listing, I'd drawn a cheery gingerbread man going for a quick dip in a hot tub-esque cup of coffee. Though, looking at it now, the gingerbread man did kind of look like he was screaming. I was about as good at drawing cheer as I was at faking it. In other words, not very. And you could possibly interpret his raised arms as flailing with panic. The man was already storming out, but I wasn't going to let him have the last word. I called after him. "It's a festive doodle!" The door slammed shut with the tinkle of a bell. I took a deep breath. His words rang in my head. You won't be in business much longer. They were just the nasty words of an aggrieved customer, I told myself, not prophecy. Though you didn't need to be a prophet to read what the profit margins of the last few months were saying. No matter. I didn't have time to waste stressing over it or feeling sorry for myself. I turned my attention to the next customer in line, who was bound to be annoyed after the long wait. "Good morning, how can I help you?" As I realized who I was speaking with, that Category 2 headache slammed back into my skull so hard it flipped right into a Category 3, which would ache at least as long as the person who caused it was in the vicinity, as long as he was in the vicinity, I should say, because Category 3 headaches were reserved for one special customer. "Beautiful day today," said certain customer chirped, beaming a mouthful of very white teeth in my direction. The snow had stopped falling, leaving a murky gray sky behind. The temperature was supposed to hover at that sweet spot between freezing and not freezing, so that what snow was left on the ground would turn into a nasty wet slush, and anything that came down the rest of the day would be a sleety, icy rain. "It's supposed to be wet and rainy all afternoon." His smile didn't waver. "Who said rain can't be beautiful?" Ugh. When I closed the cafe at 4 and walked outside, I'd probably find him singing and dancing as the water poured around him, his tap shoes somehow magically not slipping in the slush. "What can I get you, Seth?" It was truly a shame he was so annoying, because if not for the whole personality thing, he'd actually be handsome. I perked up the first time I saw him walk through my door, his green flannel setting off broad shoulders beneath dark hair that curled around his strong cheekbones. And then he'd opened his mouth, something he insisted on doing way too often each time I saw him. Now, instead of just telling me that he wanted a pumpkin spice latte with whipped cream, what he gets from October through December each year, he said, "Man, I wonder what that guy before me was going through. It must really be a lot for him to act like that." I should have known better than to take the bait. I really should. But the man's words were still smarting at me, like poking at an already aching bruise. You won't be in business much longer. Or, I replied, already mad at myself, maybe he was just a jerk. Maybe he was tired, and somebody rear-ended his car yesterday, and his head hurt, and he just wanted to feel like someone was taking care of him. Seth said. "Or maybe he was just a jerk," I said. "Lots of people are. What do you want, Seth?" "To continue believing that humanity is generally good and that people who behave badly usually have a reason for it," he said. "Also a pumpkin spice latte, please, with whipped cream." "Latte coming right up." I felt a little better as soon as I turned my back to run the machine, breathing in the sweet steam bath of coffee and sugar. He probably assumed I drank my coffee black and strong, but I actually loved a good pumpkin spice.